Welcome to the Masters of Consciousness channel. In today's episode, I will introduce you to the spiritual practices of Master Eckhart Tolle. His teachings have transformed the lives of millions of people around the world, and at their core lies something that may seem surprisingly simple: full presence in the now. But how can we truly practice this in our everyday lives? How can we translate his words into inner transformation, the kind of change we deeply long for? Today I will show you not only what Tolle teaches, but most importantly how to apply it, how to practice it, and how to feel it in your body and mind. Let's begin with one of Tolle's foundational ideas. The now is all we ever have. The mind usually lives in the past or the future. We dwell, analyze, worry, plan, but our life happens only in one space, in the present moment. Tolle says, wherever you are, be there totally. That's more than a quote. It's an invitation to an inner breakthrough. The first practical exercise you can do is simple yet powerful. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to your breath. Don't control it. Just feel it. Inhale. Exhale. Sense the air entering and leaving your lungs. If thoughts are resident, fight them. Notice them and gently return to the breath. After a few minutes, begin scanning your body from the top of your head, down through your neck, shoulders, chest, all the way to your feet. Notice each part. What sensations are there? Warmth, heaviness, pulsing? Just observe. This practice is known as inner body awareness and is one of Tolle's most essential tools for stepping out of mental noise and into presence. Eckhart doesn't say thinking is bad. He says we are slaves to thought. That's why the next practice is the conscious pause. You can do it any time at work, in a conversation, on a walk. Pause for a moment. Interrupt the flow of thinking. You don't need to silence the mind. It will quiet itself when you stop chasing it. Bring your attention to something simple. The sounds around you, the texture of the chair beneath you, the feeling in your hands. Anything that anchors you in the senses. In those moments, there's no past or future. There's only now. And in the now lives a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. When we listen to Tolle, it may seem like he speaks very slowly. That's not accidental. It's a deliberate rhythm that invites presence. That's how you can treat your day not as a checklist, but as a series of conscious moments. This is the practice of life as meditation. Eat and only eat. Walk and only walk. Speak and truly listen. It doesn't require extra time. It requires depth, attention, and that changes everything. An important aspect of his teaching is noticing the inner dialogue, what Tolle calls mental noise. Try this experiment. For 1 minute, in silence, just listen, not to the outer world. Listen for the absence of thought. Notice the space between one thought and the next. In that space, as Tolle says, you are your true self, not as a personality, not as a story or a role, but as consciousness itself. This is a deep and liberating experience that changes your relationship with yourself. Here's another simple but profound exercise. Take an object. It could be a stone, a cup, a pen. Hold it in your hand and observe it for a minute as if you were seeing it for the first time in your life. Don't analyze. Just look, feel, notice the shapes, the shadows, the texture. This practice teaches pure perception without the filter of thought. The more you do it, the more you realize how much of your perception has been mechanical, unconscious. Tolle also reminds us that emotional suffering is not who we are. It is a state. It comes and goes. It can be observed. And when we stop identifying with it, it begins to dissolve. If you feel sadness, anger, worry, instead of reacting, just be with the feeling. Observe it. Sense it in the body. Breathe with it. This isn't resistance. This is allowance. And it is in this allowance that transformation begins. When you begin to practice presence in daily life, something shifts. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but deeply. You begin to notice that many of the problems that once felt overwhelming no longer carry the same weight. Tolle says, Life is not what happens to you, but how you respond to it from the space of consciousness. That's why one of the most important daily practices is to notice your reactions. How do you respond to difficulty? Does anger, fear, or frustration arise? These are signals not of what's wrong outside, but of an inner identification with ego. The ego, according to Tolle, is the false self, a collection of beliefs, stories, fears, and roles we identify with. When you feel the need to be right, to win an argument, to control others, that's the ego. You don't have to fight it. You just have to see it, notice its voice, and then choose not to react automatically. Pause. Return to your breath, to your body, to presence. It's amazing how many times a day we can reset this way. One of Tolle's core practices is allowing what is. This doesn't mean resignation. It doesn't mean passivity. It means that the first step is not resistance but acceptance. This is what is. Fighting it only creates more suffering. If you're stuck in traffic, does anger help? If someone criticizes you, does tension make you stronger? No. But you can choose. You can breathe. You can be. And from presence you can act. With clarity. With calm. With effectiveness. One of my favorite insights from Tolle is the idea of the quiet joy of being. It's a subtle state when nothing in particular is happening, but you feel at peace, grounded, simply, well, and you don't need a reason. You're not waiting for something, not running from anything. You're just here. That's it, and that's enough. It's worth practicing this daily. Find even 1 minute to pause. Look at the sky. Sip your tea. Do nothing else. That is your way home. If you want to go deeper, try this practice at night. Before sleep, sit in silence and ask yourself, was I present today? Scan your day. Were there moments when you were truly here? Did you eat mindfully? Did you listen to someone without your inner commentary? Did you feel space around you? Don't judge, just notice. Then say to yourself, tomorrow I'll try again. This gentle daily reflection strengthens your awareness. It's not about perfection, it's about direction. Tolle often speaks about inner stillness. It's not just the absence of noise. It's a state where, inside, you don't need to say anything, do anything, or prove anything. You can cultivate contact with this stillness through open meditation. Just sit, close your eyes, and be aware. Thoughts will come and go. Let them. Don't try to stop them. Observe, breathe, and return to the now. Even a few minutes a day can quiet something deep within. If you prefer movement, try conscious walking. Walk slowly. Place each foot down with full awareness. Feel the ground beneath you. Sense the air on your skin. Listen to the sounds. You don't need to reach a destination. This isn't walking from point A to point B. It's walking into the now. Tolle says, all of nature is already in presence. Trees, clouds, birds, they don't think about the past or future. They just are. That's why nature heals us. It reminds us who we really are, consciousness, observing. And remember, this is not a race. It's not about being the most mindful person. That would only be another form of spiritual ego. It's about gentleness, kindness toward yourself, choosing presence when you can. And when you drift, returning. Every breath is a new beginning. Every moment a chance to wake up again. Perhaps as you listen to this episode, you asked yourself, this sounds beautiful, but can I really live this way? The answer is yes, but not through a dramatic transformation. Through quiet, consistent presence, step by step, moment by moment. Tolle never promises instant enlightenment. He simply says, it's available now, but you have to stop to see it. And that's why his teaching is so valuable, because it's not separate from life. It shows us how to wash dishes with awareness, how to speak with a child without drifting, how to move through the world with silence in your heart, even when the outside is noisy. This is not escape. It is arriving in life with a new quality of being. If you want to root this practice deeper, you can create a daily ritual. In the morning before reaching for your phone, take 3 conscious breaths. At night before sleeping, feel your inner body. During the day, set a reminder that says, presence. And for a few seconds, return to the now. These simple gestures are like watering a plant. They create the space where awareness grows. Tolle reminds us that true change doesn't come from adding more, but from letting go of what no longer serves. Often what disturbs us isn't the outer situation but our resistance to it. And when you release that resistance, even for a moment, you feel relief. And behind that relief, deep, quiet peace, real peace. Being present is the purest form of freedom. Freedom from compulsive reaction, from addiction to thought, from fear of the future. It's freedom that doesn't depend on anything outside. And that freedom is our true home. Finally, I want to thank you for walking this path with me today. In a world full of noise, you chose a moment of silence, reflection, true connection with yourself. That's not small. That is an act of courage and love. And if something in this episode touched you, even for a moment, then a seed has been planted, and it already knows how to grow. I invite you to stay with us. Subscribe to Masters of Consciousness, because we have many more journeys ahead, encounters with great spiritual teachers and practices that can turn everyday life into something much deeper than just repeating days. If you feel called, leave a comment, share what moved you most today. Your words might inspire someone else. Remember, you don't have to walk this life alone. Consciousness connects us all. In this moment right now, we are together, connected not through words but through presence. Silent, full, real. I wish you peace that needs no reason, light that shines even in darkness, and the courage to live fully here and now. Thank you for today. See you in the next episode.